Hey everybody, how are ya? We are going to go ahead and get started here. Happy Saturday, happy end of the month. Maybe you're not feeling like it's the end of the month, but here we are. And we are we're in the stretch, the final stretch. And there's two ways of looking at this weekend. One would be that you've got 2 entire days left to hit your goals. The other is that you've only got 2 days left to hit your goals. One kind of lends a hand to accomplishing it, and the other feels a little bit like defeat, And one of my very favorite quotes is, "There's no cramming for a test of character," because it always comes as a pop quiz. So make sure that your character is intact, you are being honest with your prospects, you're representing Green Compass in the best possible way, and you understand that what we're doing is truly offering an amazing opportunity to people. So think about this. If the majority of your emails and your calls were just following up to see, where the decision is, or checking in to see if you got the go-ahead from the significant other, and maybe your prospects aren't responding or they're putting you off, believe it or not, at the end of the month, you're doing the dance. You know the one, where you check your email every 5 minutes and you're hoping that they've responded, or when they ask a question, you jump really quick to answer it right away, and you want to give lots of statistics and scientific information. Well, why this happens is that you haven't uncovered that individual's why, or figured out what their compelling reason to be researching your opportunity is. You've got to focus on their why. Now, if you haven't established their why, or you haven't agreed to even a timeline to get together, or when they'll make a decision, you've got to get them to agree to a follow-up, a time and a day, set it up right then. Now, here's a great way to set that up. So if they're interested, but maybe they say they want some more information, or, they want to do their due diligence, all of that is good. Try something like, look, I'm going to send you a couple of links to review right now. Please write down your questions. And what I'd like to do is just revisit this tomorrow. So let's schedule a follow-up time right now and get them any information that you haven't sent them. So if you've already sent them I've got an email that's got several different links. It doesn't include everything. So if they say they want some more information, I'm going to go into my back office and I'm going to look up through our documents, I'm going to look through our videos, and I'm going to find something that I haven't already sent them, right? Just give them a little bit more information. There's so many options for third-party tools in your back office and in your app. So find something and tell them you're going to send them one more thing. But the important part is schedule that follow-up, whatever time is good for them. So if you're presented with, the hem and the haw, or the problem, or the reason, something that's stopping them from moving forward, it's important that you don't jump to your own solution on how you can make it better. So if you've already established what it means if they don't allow the opportunity to get them closer to their why, you want to remind them of their why. And the next step is so important. Get your expert on a 3-way call. The value of a 3-way call is completely underestimated. And oftentimes it's not even thought of as an option. It's most likely going to be exactly what's needed to push your prospect into a decision. All right. Now, if you're wondering how to set that up, it's easy. You're going to want to reach out to your upline, whether it's Rick, myself, Elle, Valerie, Chris. We've got a lot of leaders on this call. Any one of those. If you can't find a leader, I'm sure you've got somebody in your group that's got great posturing, that's got great knowledge, and their ability to close people is very high. So get a third-party expert on the line, okay? Now, what you're going to want to do is say, hey, I'm going to be following up with so-and-so between 12 and 1. Is there any chance you might be available to jump on a 3-way call? I'm sure someone is. We all try and make ourselves very available. So Secure that possibility, okay? Then you make your call with your prospect, and you either need a third-party expert to seal the deal, or maybe you've got that lucky call where they say, you know what, I've reviewed everything and I am ready to jump in. Now remember, if you end up not using your three-way expert, please be respectful of their time, okay? When you hang up, reach back out to that expert that agreed to be available for that hour and say, hey, look, I just got off my call. Turns out I didn't end up needing you, but I appreciate you being available. Or, hey, they had to reschedule for, between 3 and 4. Whatever that is, make sure you're communicating with that expert, because their time is very valuable. And if they aren't sitting in and being available for your call, they've got a ton of other income producing activities that they can jump on, right? Whether it's helping another person on your team or it's helping their own team, it doesn't really matter. You've got to be respectful of people's time, okay? So let's go back to the value of a three-way call real quick, okay? The value in a three-way call is that it's going to allow new advocates how to leverage the experience of the sponsor, right? The sponsor's got a lot more experience in Green Compass than they do. So they're going to learn how to answer questions and handle objections, okay? Now, these calls also teach duplication in your group. They're not just for newcomers. You may have been around the block for a couple months here at Green Compass, never utilized a three-way call. So you're going to learn how to increase your productivity with a three-way call, okay? Know this, that the calls aren't just for newcomers. And I'll tell you why. Leaders use three-way calls too, because it allows their prospects to hear a different perspective, and it allows them to provide further validation of the opportunity, right? So don't be afraid, don't be stubborn. Rick and I have done a three-way call for each other many times, and oftentimes we're sitting in the same room, I'm on a call and I've got somebody go in and I go, hey, you know what? This is a perfect time. Let me see if I've got an expert I can just jump on this call with us real quick. And they may be able to answer some questions that I can't answer or offer you a different perspective. Hold on just 1 minute. And I put them on hold. And then I will put them on speaker and I'll introduce them to Rick. And then I'll say, hey guys, I'm just going to mute out, I'm going to edify Rick. Not going to do, tremendous amount of detail, but absolutely edify him, because what he brings to the table is much different than what I bring to the table, right? So I edify him, and then I'm going to say, hey guys, I'm going to mute out Rick. I'm going to let you go ahead and share a little bit about your experience and your background, and then maybe you can answer John's questions. And then I'm done. Hand the phone to Rick, and Rick goes about his business and oftentimes seals the deal, and we've got a new advocate in our group. It's important that if you're doing a three-way call, that you understand you should be quiet on the call. Mute yourself out, because if you keep trying to interject or answer questions or give your experience, what you've done is you've just taken the value away from your expert, right? And the prospect is really confused. You brought on this expert to answer my questions, but you keep jumping on. I'm a little bit confused. Who's the expert here, right? So it's very, very important to just be silent. Let the expert do their magic. They're very good, and they may not have any more knowledge than you, truthfully, but your prospect doesn't know that, right? There's a phrase that goes, when you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. And when you don't value your time or the insights of your expert, neither will your prospect, right? So just remember, don't keep going at your prospects on your own. Oftentimes what happens is you become a nuisance to them. You end up getting frustrated with them because they're not, making any progress moving toward your end goal, right? So three-way calls, they provide that validation. And it's also, it's a social interaction, right? So it allows your prospects to see what's possible by hearing the success stories of others, right? So at the end of every call, what you're going to do is you're going to ask for your commitment. Hey, I'm so glad you two got to meet. This was great. Hey, getting started is really quick and easy. Do you have a few minutes and I can talk you through enrollment right now? If they're not interested, I'll respect that, okay? Thank them for their time. Add them to your monthly follow-up list, which you should have if you don't, okay? And then the next thing, ask them if you can add them to our brand new Facebook page for prospects, which is coming. We should have it ready by Monday. Now, as you know, you're not supposed to add prospects to our private groups unless they are in the business. They're in as an advocate. So we are putting together a Facebook page that'll be just for prospects to gather more information, to hear testimonials, to see what's going on in the business, and really feel the pulse of the industry, okay? So ask them if you can add them to that Facebook group so that they can just kind of get some more information, okay? That's important. They become part of your audience, and I think it continues to increase their interest and their curiosity, okay? The other thing you can do is ask them for referrals, okay? If you replace every no with a referral, guess what? Your contact list will never run dry, okay? I like to ask them things like, hey, based on what I've shared with you today, what intrigues you or excites you the most? Do you happen to have a personal interest in learning more about the opportunity or products? If you don't, that's okay. No worries. Do you know anybody who might be interested? I would love an introduction. And it works well, right? So you're just asking them to share with somebody that they think would be interested, right? You don't want to, drag some name just so they throw it out at you. But I'm sure every person knows somebody else that's looking either for a great product or a great opportunity, okay? So if they said no, continue to follow up with them from time to time. Let them know what's new and exciting with Green Compass. We've got new products coming out in July and different things happening, right? So there will come a time where that no becomes a yes, because no is never no. No is not now, okay? So I encourage you today I want you to look at this weekend as your opportunity to hit your goals, okay? Get away from the mindset of, oh, I'm screwed. I've only got 2 days left. Do not resign yourself to the fact that there's so little you can do to change your end of the month at this point, okay? Do not allow yourself to have an excuse. There is only opportunity. So take a deep breath, relax, look at your calendar, look at your prospect list, look at your income producing activities, and see what you can do in the next 2 days to hit your goals. And we're all rooting for you. We're excited. We want to help. So use us, okay? Now, this call was rather short, and it was intentional. I don't want to take up a lot of your last 2 days of the month listening to me ramble. What I want you to do is be motivated and excited and goal-oriented and looking at the deadline as a checkered flag. You got this, okay? You got this, and we're here to help. So go out there, make it a great day, find your income producing activities, and go for it, okay? We'll see you right around the corner. Bye-bye.